There's a very wild Star Wars rumor making the rounds on the internet, possibly spoiling something major about Episode 9, and it could even explain the title. I mean, you're telling me Luke Skywalker is gonna do something this crazy?
We do it for the fans.
Today's shout out goes to Timothy Cornwell. Indeed, Moira McTaggart is the character that was recently revealed to be a mutant. And for the record, spelling doesn't count because I'm a terrible speller. It's just how it is. Make sure you stay to the end of this video where we will ask another nerd card question. What is up, everybody? Bonus video today. Crazy day for Star Wars news. I'm, of course, Josh. Welcome back to the den. You probably saw the video we did earlier today about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and the fact that Ewan McGregor has signed a contract. It's pretty crazy. If you haven't seen that, go check out the show.
Hello there.
Now, this video is actually the video I was working on first today. I was writing this script out. This was going to be the nerdy news rundown today, but then the Obi-Wan news dropped and I was like, okay, this is pretty wild. We'll do that as the show, but I still want to talk about this crazy Luke Skywalker news. And so what am I talking about here? Well, it's a leak, okay? It's a plot leak and it originates from 4chan. So you got to take that with like a massive grain of salt, like a grain of salt this big, and just bash your head in with it. But the reason I want to cover this is because there is a lot in this leak that we think will come to pass. Doesn't necessarily mean the leak is legit. They could just be looking at other leaks and other rumors out there. But it's what they're talking about at the end of this plot leak that is blowing my freaking mind. And I have heard people mention this, so we got to talk about it. I should say, spoiler warning, even though I'm not going to get into the entire plot leak here, I'm going to leave a lot unsaid. I will be talking about the very end of the film, a huge aspect of the ending, the meaning of the title, like a big deal. So if you don't want to know, check out, although I will say that this leak in particular is not so exact. So if this actually happens in the movie, I'll be watching the movie and I'll be more like, holy f, they actually did it. Instead of like, oh, well, I knew they were gonna do that. It was ruined from the leak. I guess what I'm basically saying is this is so freaking wild that I just simply won't believe that it'll happen until I see it with my own eyes. But it's a pretty interesting thing to speculate about. So yeah, get out of here if you don't want spoiled. Get on. Okay, so this has to do with the end of the movie. And as we have talked about before, a lot of leaks are suggesting that the end will become some kind of a scenario here where Kylo and Rey are fighting against Palpatine. Now this will be Matt Smith Palpatine. It'll be Matt Smith, the Knight of Ren, who willingly lets Palpatine possess him. So the spirit of Palpatine in the young Matt Smith body. For the record, I love talking about this because it's just hilarious how much JJ and Star Wars is trying to pretend this is not a thing when we're all like pretty sure this is a thing. I just find it kind of funny. But anyway, in that fight, they will defeat the Matt Smith Palpatine, but then the spirit of Palpatine will jump out of Matt Smith's corpse and possess Kylo Ren. And because Kylo Ren is not fully dark side, he has a pull to the light, he will manage to sort of get control of his body, and then he asks Rey to help kill him. And according to this leak, she reluctantly acquiesced, killing Kylo Ren, the person that she will have a lot of feelings for. Now, this is where it gets ridiculous, but check this out. According to this leak, Luke Skywalker then appears and as a Force ghost literally resurrects Ben Solo. He literally brings Kylo Ren back to life, and that is the meaning of the Rise of Skywalker.
No way. No way.
No way!
No way! No way! No way!
Now this has sparked a lot of discussion on the internet. Just from what I saw this morning, a lot of people were talking about how this should be Rey. Like basically Rey should be the one to bring him back to life. Perhaps Luke and Rey will do it together, but I don't know, man. As a Star Wars fan myself, these are my thoughts. Like Luke got kind of shafted in The Last Jedi. Like I actually like The Last Jedi, but I think his character definitely gets shafted, and not just in The Last Jedi, but in this trilogy overall. It would be awesome to give Luke a win like this, because it basically is like he's gonna allow them to defeat evil, and then when they finally do, he can show up. Ben made the ultimate sacrifice, redeeming himself, but Luke feels so guilty and bad about having Ben's fall to the dark side be his ultimate failure that he might even just give away his energy, the last of his energy as a being, to resurrect Ben Solo again. I think that would be an awesome win for Luke Skywalker, and I think Luke Skywalker fans would love it because they'd be like, dude, what can't Luke do? He's like Force Jesus. He's literally projecting himself across the galaxy. He literally brings people back to life. That's pretty freaking cool. It's even possible that after he brings Ben back to life, that he sort of just says to Ben that like, 1,000 generations now live in you, that maybe it's more than bringing Ben back to life. Perhaps Ben being brought back to life gifts him with some unique abilities or some unique knowledge. He's been to the other side now. He has a better understanding of the cosmic force. I mean, I gotta be honest here. I'm kind of digging it, dude. Like, I'm kind of loving it, you know? Freaking resurrection. I mean, it is crazy, but there is actual precedence for it in Star Wars before. I mean, not only would freaking Palpatine be sort of resurrected in this movie if it goes down this way, but in the Clone Wars show, during the Mortis arc, Ahsoka Tano is actually killed. I don't know if you guys know this, but she's dead. And then the sister, who is one of the Mortis gods, sacrifices her life force to bring Ahsoka back to life. So technically, Ahsoka has risen from the dead as well. Now, it would be interesting to see how Star Wars fans reacted to this. Like, this would be a very crazy thing to accomplish in the canon. I personally would be okay with it, but I'm sure there'd be a lot of Star Wars fans out there that would be like, this is ridiculous, this is way too far. But that's where we're at with this, guys. That is what this leak is saying will happen, and I just gotta know, what do you think about this? Like, A, do you think it's possible? Because we actually have heard some rumblings about this before. Even stuff that Jason Ward over at MakingStarWars.net has talked about has sort of hinted at this as a possibility. But now it's really ramping up with this plot leak. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Would you be down? Do you think it's too far? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comment section below. For the record, there's a lot of really cool leaks and things coming out about Star Wars. Like, we think we know when we'll get the trailer. We'll probably get a behind the scenes sizzler at D23. A lot of cool Star Wars stuff coming this weekend for Star Wars Sunday. I want to do a live stream where we sort of talk about some of these leaks and as a community, like, talk about if we're into it or not. So make sure you come back on Star Wars Sunday this week to do a fan chat live about these rumors and leaks. Now let's check the nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know, what other famous Jedi from the prequels also had Qui-Gon Jinn as a master? This is, of course, besides Obi-Wan, who's the most obvious one. So the question remains, what other Jedi in the prequel era had Qui-Gon Jinn as a master? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.